Hello guys, and welcome back to Swiss Network. So today for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a logo, a simple logo in Photoshop, which you can edit to your satisfaction and desirable needs. So in Photoshop, it's going to come over and start up a new document, the width of 500 by a height of 500. I'm just going to call this logo for my name. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our background. So we're going to unlock the background layer. When it comes to the gradient tool over here on the far left, in the middle, it's fade. We're going to do a fading out black gradient. First, actually, I just want to say this is a gradient because I quite like it. Oh, what is that? Right, so we're going to do a sort of dark, almost black, to a really dark grey. I think they're too similar. And we're going to make sure it's set to radial, and we're going to drag out from the center. I think I want that in reverse. There we go. Just trying to get a nice. Just drag it out a few times. There you go. A nice sort of background effect. Once we've done that, I'm going to head over here to the layer styles, bring up the layer styles, and I'm going to add an inner glow. I'm going to set this color to black, and I'm going to set the blend mode to normal. I'm just going to bump the size up to around about 10, and I'm going to drop the opacity to 50%. Actually, maybe have the size on about 7. Sort of gives it a fading in border. And then I'm going to go back to the layer styles, and I'm going to put a pattern overlay on. Of course, setting the blend mode to overlay. And I've got these cool patterns that I made. I'm just trying to think whether to use scan lines or a grid. I think for this tutorial, I'm going to use some simple scan lines for my my pattern overlay. If you can simply find a tutorial on how to do scan lines, if you just search on YouTube a bit. I was going to set the opacity of these scan lines to 30%, just so they're sort of fading in a little bit, and you can see some cool sort of gradient rings which look fairly textured in a logo wallpaper sort of type thing. That's our background pretty much finished. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to apply a sort of grungy overlay, but I'm going to blend it in so you can barely see it, to the point where it's almost not visible. So I have these textures, not those textures, I'm trying to find. I use this texture, I think. I'll put a link in the description for you guys for this texture. So I'm just going to rasterize this layer, and I'm going to bring up the blending options. And where you see this is underlying layer, I'm going to hold Alt and drag half of it so it blends in with the background. I might also do that. No, I won't do that one. As you can see, so it's like a solid, and then it blends in with the background and starts to form a sort of cool effect like that, which you just do not get from layer styles and turning the opacity down. And then I'm going to set the opacity to 60% or maybe 50%, just so it's a cool overlay, or 40% even. And I'm just going to merge these two layers together, holding Control both and then Control E, and labeling this as our background. So that's our background sorted, and now we're going to move on to our main logo. So I'm going to use the Ellipse Tool to create our logo, and we're simply going to drag from the center, holding Shift and Alt at the same time to drag a scaled circle, like so. And then I'm going to bring the rulers and drag down from the Y until it snaps into the center. You should feel it just sort of snap, snap, and that is that. So I can just sort of centre align this a little bit better, like so. Now we're going to bring up the layer styles on this. First I'm just going to rasterize this layer and do this as my sphere, or you could just say main logo, something like that. I'm going to add a drop shadow first, and I'm going to leave the drop shadow at 90 degrees. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put the drop shadow at 48 degrees, so it's around this side. Sorry, 8 degrees, what am I talking about? So it's around this side here. And then I'm going to, I think I'm just going to leave it like so. I'm then going to put an inner glow on. But first, I'm going to do a gradient overlay, and I'm going to choose my colours for my logo. So my colours are just going to consist of a dark blues, something along these lines. Might even choose a preset blue to a really dark grey, pretty much a bluey grey, and then make this one like darker as well. Alright, so I've got my sphere with my drop shadow. I can see here the drop shadow it's got too much of size on the distance. Sorry, I'm gonna bring distance down to 3 and the size down to 4. Sort of solids it up a bit. I'm still not keen with my angle. I want it more up here, so it comes down this side as well. So 25 degrees, maybe 40 degrees. I think 40 degrees is the best angle you want for your drop shadow. I'm now going to put an inner glow on. My inner glow is going to be a more solid blue compared to my current colour, but I do not want to make it overpowering. So I'm setting the blend mode to normal, and I'm going to bring up the size a little bit to around about 13, and then drop the opacity, I think, to 50%, or maybe change the blend mode to something a little darker, so it's less prominent. Maybe something like overlay or soft light. I think normal still retains. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it on normal with a slight brighter colour to give it a sort of indented effect. I'm going to set that at 10% for the size, or pixels, sorry. The opacity 50, my colour, and then blend mode normal. I then can put a stroke on if you want to. I would say a heavy stroke, either size 1 or size 2 is a good stroke. And now you want this in white or black. I'm just going to have mine in black because I prefer it. I think a stroke of 1 is better for this. I don't want to overpower the drop shadow, so I'm just going to put a stroke of 1 on. Main logo, I'm just going to call this back. We're then going to duplicate this layer, and we're just going to resize it, holding Shift and Alt at the same time, and drag it in a little bit. So you've got sort of a rim. Then you're going to come to the blending options, take off the drop shadow, take off the stroke. Sorry, keep the stroke on, but I'm going to bump the size up to 2. But then I'm going to change the colour to a blue, but a blue which blends with the background, but it's prominent. I'm then going to put on an outer glow. Where is it? There it is. And I'm going to make this a bright blue, so it's contrasting, and I'm going to have normal and a size of 10%, like so. I am then going to, on the inner glow, bump the size up to 15, reduce the opacity to 30%, and keep that like so. I think the range is there 50. A stroke, I think it's 2 in the power. Needs to be lighter. I'm gonna go for a stroke which is almost white, but it's just blue enough. So this should sort of give it an effect that it looks indented almost. I don't think my inner glow is dark enough. So my inner glow, to make it slightly darker so it looks like it's indented. Only slightly. You only want it slightly indented, like so. So now this becomes our front circle, and we have our back circle like previously. We're then going to add some text. If you want to, you could use 3D text that you've made or your logo. You can import your logo straight into this. For the 3D text, if you don't know how to make 3D text, I'll put an annotation on the screen now, and then also be a link in the description for my tutorial with Cinema 4D how to make 3D text. So you can go check that out if you want to. If not, you can just continue. I'm just going to use some default text. This I think I'm going to use. I'm not sure what font I will use. It's just initializing my type tool, which takes ages. So for my text, I just want TN, and let's see what font I'm going to use. Whole selection, wide range of fonts. I think I'm going to use Edge. So for this, I'm using the font. I'm going to use the font Fortnite. I'll put a link in the description for that as well, if I have time. If not, it's not too difficult to get hold of. It's a fairly common font, so. Right, so I'm just going to resize this, and I'm just going to slant it to the left slightly, like so, making it center with my my rulers. Right, so now I'm just going to apply a layer style, to this. I have a preset layer style which I was using, which I made a while back, and it's this layer style which I'll be using. So I'll quickly run through the layer style options. So first off, we have the Bevel Emboss with the style, Pillow Emboss, depth 231, direction up, size 3, soften 0. The angle's at 40%, use global light is checked, altitude 30%, gloss contour standard, highlight mode screen with the colour of white and an opacity of 75%. The shadow mode is multiply with a black colour of 75% opacity. We have a stroke of 4 pixels on the outside, normal, everything the same, and it's a grey which has the value of 333333. I put a satin on with the blend mode lighten on a white colour with an opacity of 52%, an angle of 129 degrees, a distance of 27 pixels, a size of 40 pixels, and a gloss contour of a custom matte, one, two, three, four, five, sixth gloss contour along. And then last off, we have our pattern overlay, which I will provide in the description for you guys. All you have to do is just sort of set it as a pattern overlay, open it in a new tab, edit, set as default pattern, and you're good to go. So once you've applied this layer style, I'd recommend double clicking and clicking a new style and saving it as a new style and hitting OK so it appears in your layer styles. So now we're going to rasterize the layer style, and I'm going to apply another pattern overlay, set this to normal, and I'm going to apply a scan line pattern overlay, I think. So I'm applying my diagonal overlay. I'm just going to set the scale to 80, 90, let's see, 100. But the opacity is 70%, so it's barely just visible. And then I think I will set the I will do a color overlay and set that to 20%, and I will have a blue as my color overlay. Just bring this up a little bit. Set the opacity to 40%, just whatever fits your colour. The darker the colour, the more prominent it's going to be. So it's looking cool. 50%, and then we're just going to apply a quick drop shadow and put the distance at 3 and the size at 4. Put the blend mode to normal, and we'll whack the opacity up to 100%. So that's pretty much our text done. It's sort of almost looks 3D. However, it's a strictly 2D piece of text. That's pretty much the logo tutorial as far as it goes. if you want to, you can also add custom pen tooled lines. So I'll quickly do this. So we're going to start up. We're going to create a new layer, and we're going to bring our pencil out, and we're going to go across the drag across to the right hand side of your layer, and then come over to the middle somewhere, drag across to the left, sorry, the right from the left, like so, and then come back over, drag across from this side. That's too far. Drag it. Oh god. Drag across this side, and then finish it off. You can just sort of drag it off like so. And now we're going to quickly do our brush. So come to our brush, and we're going to set this to a fade brush with a pixels of 7, and that should do. And then come back to our pen tool, and we do stroke path, simulate pressure, and brush, back arrow, and you get this sort of cool brush effect. Now what we're going to do is apply a layer style to this. We're going to do an outer glow, and make the outer glow whatever colour you want. Make it a bright colour, preferably. So a cool blue I'm going to have. And then we're going to do a colour overlay and make this a sort of darker colour, only slightly. And then we'll have an outer, inner glow, sorry, and make this brighter, but have the blend mode set to overlay. And the size at 3. So that's our layer style done. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to rasterize that layer style. And I'm going to come to our razor tool, make sure it's set to a faded brush, and we're sort of going to fade it out so that it looks better, basically. I don't know what the hell happened here. I think I must have messed it up a little bit. I have to ignore that. But so we're going to have this bit come under. Looks like it's going under our piece of work. Then actually I'll have this bit come over. Quickly undo that. Have this bit come under. Have this bit come under. Oh god, there's only mistakes. Under. You can zoom in if you want, holding Alt and scrolling with your mouse to get this perfect, like so. And then we'll have over again, so you get a cool sort of swirling effect. I'm really disappointed about that. Don't know what happened there. So that's basically it for our logo, guys. That was a quick logo tutorial. I think it was quick. Hopefully it was. I think it was probably about 7-8 minutes. I don't babble on anymore. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will actually put this PSD file in the description for you. I'll just quickly fix this and put the PSD in the description for you guys. So you can just download it if you want to, so you can use it. All I'm asking for is just to leave a like. I'll also put all the stuff I use in this, so the grunge and the patterns. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, bye.